Hey everyone, GameHounds, episode 523 on Wednesday, November 20th, 2019. We have not started the audio show yet officially, but wanted to say hello and greet you. Why are our name tags not showing up? That's odd. Oh, I know why. That's why.
I have no name.
So we have no goalie this week. That's okay. Goalie texted me
It's
this
fine.
morning.
It's fine. We'll all be better for it.
Yeah. Well, maybe you.
No big loss.
So, kind of a short show, I guess, because I have not played anything really. I'm
Okay. I've
almost at the very end of Kingdom Come Deliverance.
really. I've been playing a lot of the DLC stuff. Actually, I guess we'll just get into it.
Yeah. Let's hold off on that.
Okay, okay.
Do you have
Because I have
news?
other things I can talk about. I have other games. Or do you want to jump into the news? There is one big news.
Yes. Well, I mean, as long as you have news items, I'm just asking you if you have news
Oh,
items. I
yes, I
have
do.
some news items. Okay, so we're good. Yeah.
Obviously, there's one big one.
Yeah. We got let's see, who have we got? We got somebody in the chat room. We got 4 people in the chat room. Yay! All right. So, good morning everyone. So we're about to start the show. All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
This podcast discusses video games, modern culture, and technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
Mics are hot. Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 523. Sorry about that. 523. We're recording this on Wednesday, November 20th, 2019. I'm Edie Sellers. We have a Nick. We have
Yo.
no goalie.
Yeah.
Lucky,
Wait,
lucky you.
are we recording?
Yes, we are.
Shit. Oh, well.
So yeah, Nick no goalie this week. That's okay. I'm all right with that. I mean, it sucks. Wish he was here. But I got an email earlier today. It said that he's got a lot of stuff going on at home, a lot of stuff going on at work. Couldn't make
Yeah,
it.
it's the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Have we decided what we're going to do over Thanksgiving? Are we actually going to have a show the Wednesday before
I'm
Thanksgiving?
I know I'm not going away. My parents are like right down the street, so I don't have to go anywhere for Thanksgiving. So yeah, I'll be here.
All right. So we have the chat room going, both chat rooms. We've got the Spreaker chat, which is where we are putting our audio live. So you can join us on Spreaker. And if you are attached to a computer or smartphone, we are live on YouTube and on Facebook. And we've got quite a few people already in here. We got AC Wraith, we got Pissed. Hey! Pissed is in YouTube. Hey, Fist.
Cool.
We got bitters. And yeah, uh, uh, Spreaker's still populating. But how are you? How was your week? Did you do anything interesting?
Like other than play interesting games, not really. What did I do?
Me
I had to
either.
buy a vacuum because the vacuum broke.
Oh,
That was the
I'm
most
sorry.
exciting thing that happened. Which also kind of sucks because like the room I'm in now is the cat room,
Uh-huh.
uh, and they track litter, and
Yes.
so I
Cats
can,
do that.
if I walk in my socks, I can feel the litter
Ew. In
on the
between your
carpet
toes.
everywhere, and I'm
Ugh.
like, okay, I really need to get a fucking vacuum and just and do this because it's been almost a month since this place has been cleaned. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, trying to avoid stepping in here barefoot.
We had a new development here at Shea, Edie. We have a husband again. He came home. He came home Sunday night, and promptly walked in the door and walked straight to his bed and fell asleep.
You found him? Were you outside like tapping a can of food to get him to come home?
I might have done that. Yeah, I could have done that. No, he's off until the 1st of December, so at least possibly longer, depending on how things go. But he's came home from San Diego, which it has occurred to me that people from the East Coast don't understand how big California is. And the best way I can describe it is if you're on the East Coast, if Northern California was Maine, San Diego would be West Virginia. I should say, if the top of California. So I'm about Connecticut, and San Diego is Virginia. The Carolinas, actually. So it's a very long way. It is a 10-hour drive, easily.
I mean, I keep forgetting how big California is because I keep thinking anything south of San Jose just kind of gets flattened for me. Where it's like, oh, San Diego, LA, yeah, they're like 40 minutes from each other, right?
Shy of Gilroy, yeah.
It's like, yeah, they're right next door.
No, it's a freaking long. Well, anything past Los Angeles, I forget how much longer that is. And San Diego is another several hours after Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 10-hour drive, 11 hours if you actually stop and get food or go to the bathroom. So yeah, he came home, he hugged me and walked into his room and passed out. So he's just starting to recover after a very long drive, very harrowing drive.
We might be making a drive like that at the end of the year. We still have to get things finalized. But
Where are you going?
Caitlin's brother and his family are in San Diego.
Oh,
And so we might go spend New Year's with them.
nice. Yeah, San Diego's a nice place. You know, if you like dry and hot and donkey shows.
Oh yeah, I love donkeys. I love ass.
Donkeys is not the operative thing in a donkey show, Nick.
Oh, okay. Well then never mind. I don't want to see it. I'm not interested.
Google donkey show.
Is this a racist thing?
No.
It really feels
Oh, come
like
on,
it
I'm
is.
not the only one who knows what a donkey show is. God, where's Goalie when we need him? All right. Chat room. I'm not the only one who knows what a donkey show is, right?
Sorry, there's something in my eye. An alleged type of live show in which women engages in bestiality with a donkey?
Yes, that's a donkey show.
Okay.
AC Ray says he's not going to post the link for donkey.
Wait.
Wikipedia.
Why is this Which, according to urban legend, why is this a fucking thing? Why are there YouTube videos of this? What the hell is this?
I've never been to a donkey show, but that was when you went to Tijuana, which is just like San Diego and Tijuana are actually very close to each other. It was always a thing. You went to Tijuana for the donkey show. Oh my gosh. What are you looking at? Are you gonna link your screen? We want to know what you're looking at, dude.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
We can live without that. All right.
Yeah, it's just an ad. Oh, the donkey show at Oberyn in Cambridge.
In Cambridge?
It was from Wikipedia, but there was nothing on the Wikipedia links. I feel like the donkey show is.
Come on, didn't you see what was the name of that Silent Bob Silent Bob movie? The where they actually got somebody to do a donkey show.
Silent Bob Strikes Back?
Maybe it was
Dogma?
No, it wasn't Dogma. I think Silent Bob Strikes Back. Someone will know this in the chat room where they get a donkey show.
Hi, Kevin.
Everybody says hello on the podcast, Kevin. Oh, he says hi.
Yeah, I don't know what movie had a donkey show. What Kevin Smith movie?
Oh God dang it. Somebody in the chat room will know the movie where they hire the
I also
donkey
don't want to
show.
type in Kevin Smith Donkey Show because I feel like that would be real bad.
Where they work at movies and they actually hire a donkey show and have a donkey show at movies.
Look at movies? Chasing Amy?
Movies. The isn't that the
Oh,
name
movies.
of the
Is that
burger place?
Mallrats?
Mm-mm. This was a later one where it's like, yeah, it's where they've quote unquote grown up a little.
Okay, Kevin Smith Donkey Show. Clerks 2?
Was it Clerks 2?
Oh, yeah. It comes something. The Wikipedia for Clerks 2 mentions a donkey show.
Yeah.
Kinky Kelly and the Sexy Stud.
That's it is. Kinky Kelly and the Sexy Stud. That's it. Yeah. So
More you
anyway,
know.
You know, the chat room went completely silent as soon as we brought up donkey shows. So anyway, yeah, no donkey shows involved in this show. We are 100% completely human. Sans donkeys. So, what are you playing?
Okay, so I'll get into that game we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Not Battlefield. I keep wanting to say Battlefield. No, Kingdom Come.
Kingdom
Because I also
Come
played a bunch of other
Deliverance.
stuff.
I am very close to being done with it.
Yeah,
It's hard to know. I'm trying to avoid spoilers.
After
But,
what you
I
said
believe.
last week, I've sort of paused my progress on the main story and just started cleaning up side quests and collecting side quests.
Yeah.
Just fuck, man, like they just keep coming.
There's
They
a
just
lot
keep
of
coming.
freaking one.
But I bought all that DLC, and so I've got all that to do too. And some of that's pretty cool. Some of it is just integrated into the main world. Like I'm doing one on not Capone's. I keep saying Capone's. Capon's love interest, where he basically so far Capon has fallen in love, but the tradition in France now is to like be a secret admirer. So he has me going around.
I never got
secretly...
this line. Really?
No, this is a DLC quest.
Oh, okay, good. All right,
But
because I haven't
it's
done
just-
any of the DLC, so I'm waiting until I'm assuming that the game will let you continue so that you can do the DLC.
I have heard that there's like open endgame stuff.
Okay, good. All right.
So yeah, and so he basically sends you out doing stupid stuff to be a secret admirer. And at first, the first part of that is like, oh, I want to give him my necklace, but I lost my necklace in a gambling match. So you have to go find the guy he lost it to. And he's like, oh yeah, I lost it to someone else. And then you go track that down, and that leads to a series of misadventures. And you bring that back, and he's like, okay, good. Now take that and this note and sneak into her bedroom and put them in her chest, like the chest by her bed. I'm like, okay, that's another thing. And it just kind of continuing on from there of me doing all sorts of stuff for this woman in secret. And those have been really fun. The other one, okay, this has like French subtitles. I'm not sure. No, that's not French.
No, it's not French. I believe that is Scandinavian or possibly Norwegian, which is even better. Anyway, you were going. Keep going.
Like without English subtitles, I have no idea what's going on.
It's genius. I love this. It feels very international. I feel very smart for watching it.
It's very avant-garde.
It's a foreign film.
Yes. Oh, I saw Kinky Kelly there and Tijuana.
There you go. Kinky Kelly Tijuana. Confirmed. So anyway, you were saying.
The other quest that like has just kind of been mixed in with everything else is one called From the Ashes, which has you rebuilding Pribyslavitz. That's one of the towns that you find that bandits have taken over.
Yeah, it got kind of fucked up.
Yeah. So the like lord of the area basically tasks you with rebuilding it. And so you get to play kind of a little city management game. And it's a cool thing that feels like it's not so much end game content as it is late game content, because it's a huge money sink. Like it's just a massive money sink, which is good because even where I am, I have hoarded like 30,000 groschen.
I got 50.
that's good. That means you will probably be able to just like get straight into building and immediately make your thing profitable.
Oh,
Because
there you go.
what you do is you are working with this other guy to kind of determine what gets built, and it's done in the UI of the game. Like all you're doing is just talking to someone and saying, "I want to build this" or "I want to build that," and so it's all done very nice. Um, but the thing is, you have to pay him and you have to pay workers, and so you have to drop money into this chest that kind of becomes your town's bank. And you'll see a little thing in a book that says, this is how much your town is making from all the buildings you've built. This is how much it's costing. And so you get like a daily breakdown of how much it's costing. And in the beginning, you need to invest a lot before it can be profitable, because first you have to pay this guy that's helping you. Then you have to pay workers to clear all the trees. And then you have to build a camp. Then you have to build like roads. Then you have to build like another like a stones camp. Then you have to build a tavern. Not a tavern. You have to build a trading outpost. But even then, the trading outpost doesn't generate quite enough money, so you have to go around to people to make deals with like. I need to go to a stonesman and make a deal with him to send me stone. I need to go to a charcoal guy and make a deal with him to send me charcoal. And so you're kind of going out and making all these monetary deals that are costing you money. Um, and it's only after you've built the tavern that your place really at least breaks even and you can stop worrying about filling up that chest and having it cost you money each day. But to get to that point, it costs like 25 to 30,000 groschen. So it's a nice money sink, especially where I am, because I've before this, like I just kept accumulating money and didn't really have anything to spend it on. So it's nice in this mid game to have something that actually motivates me to go kill some Kumans, steal the armor, sell it, and put that money back into the city. So that's been a cool thing to do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other major DLC is one called A Woman's Lot. And there are two parts to that. One of them is there's a nurse in Sasau, and she has like a story to tell you that's it loads into that story, and so you play through that before you come back to the main game, and then you can talk to not Tessa, Teresa,
Mm-hmm.
and she tells you the story of how she survived the raid in Skalitz. Skalitz. Um,
Scallots.
and that's really cool. Teresa is fucking awesome.
Teresa's really neat. I like
Hmm.
her.
Yeah, and if you didn't like her before, or if you like her now, you'll like her even more after this DLC. Just seeing her reaction to stuff and what she does during the raid is really cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, where I believe I am close to the end. We are uh narrowing in, kind of targeting in on
Hmm.
the dude that stole my sword, my dad's sword.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and
Still after that
there's
fucking
been a
sword.
major story reveal which I will not discuss because I know that at least 3 of us listening to this channel, you being one of them, play this game, but there is a major story reveal that I found rather surprising. Did
I
not
think
see
I
that coming.
I think I had it spoiled for me because I was looking through trophy lists, looking through all the hidden trophies.
Mm.
But I'm still very interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah,
Um,
without getting into too many details, there is a point in the game where you will get a warning that says if you go any further, you're going to
hmm,
destroy all these quests. It says it
that's
straight out.
really good that they give you that warning.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And if you stumble across this area and start to trigger it, it will say, "Hey, you're about to trigger the destruction of all these of quests that are undone. You okay with that?" And you can like back out, which is
Cool.
very nice for them to do. But
Okay, so
I've here's something that I found out the hard way. You want to go there pretty much naked. You don't want to have any equipment on you.
Really?
Mhm. It will make your life a little bit easier to not have equipment. I mean, it's not horrible if you do, but I made the mistake. I thought I put my equipment all on my chest. I thought I'd put most of my money except for a bare basic amount. The problem is that I had like 50,000 groschen. And I um I thought I put like all but 4,000 groschen in my chest. However, I made the mistake is I put 4,000 groschen in my chest and carried the rest of the
Mm,
46,000 in my bag. And I was like, and I didn't realize it until after it had been taken from me. And it was like, oh, fuck, oh, fuck,
okay.
oh, fuck, oh, fuck. But at a later point, you will get your equipment back, even if you
Okay. Well,
don't
that's
steal
good.
it. Yeah,
Um,
you have a chance to either steal it back, which you may or may not be able to do depending on what happens inside this place you're going, or you can wait until
excuse me.
later and you take the place over and then you can get your stuff back and your
Hmm.
money will remain.
Um. So I don't. You remember my friend David? You've seen him in game nights.
Right,
Um.
yes.
He was playing this too, and so when
Mm-hmm.
he came over for our last game night, we were talking about it, and he said, and I don't want you to give me any spoilers, but he said there was a part in the game where he almost quit because he got really frustrated, and all he would tell me is that it involved beans.
Beans?
Beans.
I have not reached that yet. There was a point where
Okay.
I had to go through a couple of videos, and it's actually interesting. There is a place you have to get out of, this same place that you got into, and you have to escape. I had a hell of a time trying to escape. I could not get out. And I actually had to go to YouTube videos to find out how I could get out. And something that's just made me like this game even more. Every video you saw was a different way of getting out.
Oh, that's cool.
There were about 6 or 8 different ways. Some people went in and retrieved their gear. I couldn't retrieve my gear because I'd made a decision that was a bad one before I'd gone in, so I didn't want to have to go backtrack. So I'm like, I'll just go without my gear because I know I can get it back later. And um there were a ton of ways that you could sneak out. I mean, there's only one place you need to get to, but getting to that place you had to overcome a number of obstacles and not all of them were easy. Um
Hmm.
the obvious doors were not possible. I mean, some people just ran out the door. And that's one way of doing it. And I tried doing that and it didn't work out so great. And then other people found other ways to kind of overcome the environment to run out and sneak around. And it worked once and I could never get it to work again. And then there was
Hmm.
a third way that you could go out, that where you jump a fence, but that made you had to really be careful because it was very easy to get caught. It was it just made me like this game so much because no two video gameplays are exactly the same. And it shows
That's
up
really cool.
how well designed this game is in so many ways. Lots of others, not so much. Uh, t- this game has frozen on me so many times.
So
So
actually, that has
many
only
times.
it was only actually during Woman's Lot when I was playing that DLC, it froze on me twice over the course of that. Like once at the beginning and once at the end. Um, that made me have to restart the game. I had never encountered anything like that in all my rest of the time with the game.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I have had a couple of things that have gone buggy on me and it sucks, but that's the way things go. Um, I've, in fact, right before the end of generally speaking, it bugs out on me at exactly the right time because It's usually when it's like, oh, I really should go to bed, but I'm right in the middle of this, and then it bugs. I'm like, oh, thank God, so I can go to sleep.
So okay, maybe you can give me some advice. One of the
Mhm.
reasons I stopped doing the main quest is because of what you said, but also because I'm at a point where the obvious direction is just like it's not working for me. I have to sneak into a monastery to kill a dude. And one of the ways I have to do that is I have to talk to a new monastery guy and like take his identity. And the game says, "Hey, go to this tavern and find Bob." I forget what his
Mhm.
name is,
Yeah.
but it's like find Bob.
Whatever. Yeah.
And all you can do is go around and ask people, "Hey, are you Bob?
Yep.
Are you Bob?
Yep.
No. Are you Bob? No. Are you
Yeah.
Bob? No." It's like, what the fuck is Bob? Do I just have to stand there all day and ask the people?
Do you want to know where he
Because
is?
yeah, where the fuck is Bob?
He's inside. He's inside, sitting at a table.
I went inside and I asked people, and no one was Bob.
Yeah, he's. That's where I found him. Is inside, sitting at a table, and he was there
Okay.
for a very long time.
Okay. Maybe I just went the wrong time.
And
Maybe
when
I
here's the
just.
thing,
Hmm.
when you go around, like when you walk up to somebody, it will say townsperson or a villager or a
Yeah.
bailiff, right? And if they have a name, it will say a name. When you walk up to him, his name says Bob. So you'll know it's Bob before you ask.
Okay. Good. Because I thought it would be townsperson, and then it changed to Bob.
Mm-mm. No, no, you
Okay.
can just walk up to
They're
Bob.
not trying to trick me. Then, yeah, I've walked around. I have bugged this fucker in like a little hat. I have bugged him so many times because every time I see him, I'm like, "Ooh, that looks like a unique character. That's probably Bob." Nope.
Yeah, no, it's he's the where I found him was he's usually there after like noon.
Hmm.
And Bob is sitting there with his guardian, with the guard that is taking him to
Okay.
the monastery. The monastery
That
is very
that
cool.
helps make it.
I
Yeah, yeah.
enjoyed I enjoyed the monastery very much because the monastery has a very strict it's all about duty and discipline. So it's like certain hours you have to be here, certain hours
Uh,
you have to be there. And if you're not in a place where you need to be, someone comes down on you like a ton of bricks. So,
that'll be fun because my sneak is really high, my speech is really high, so
you're going to
I'm looking
need
forward to
it.
sneaking
You're
around.
probably still gonna. I'm very proud of myself. I did not spend any time in monastery jail, but there were a couple of times. I mean, I was on my last legs before they were gonna throw me in jail. I had to
Hmm.
talk myself out of it a number of times, and each time you talk yourself out of it, you get closer and closer to not being able to talk yourself out of it.
Cool.
A lot of sneaking around. Uh, there is a perk that will allow you to not lose what was it rest and food if you don't move. I
Oh,
recommend that
yeah.
one. That's
I
an important one
almost.
in the monastery because you spend a lot of time. The only time you can
What
really
is that
move
under?
with, huh?
What is that under? Because I got a couple perk points the other night and I wanted to get that, but then I was just looking through all the options and I couldn't find it. I don't know if I already have it or not. I
I
really don't.
can't remember
I don't even
the
remember what it's called.
perk point. I don't even remember either. But
Yeah, let me look.
the only time you get to sneak around the monastery is when it's done, when everybody's asleep. And if you're not awake when it's time to wake up, bad things happen. People come and get you, and they're like, you're supposed to be praying. You have to pray for 2 hours. And yeah, you have to pray for 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in
Oh
the evening.
God.
And you better be where you're supposed to be. And if you leave a second before you get the go somewhere else, they will bust you as if you hadn't shown up for prayers at all. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I did enjoy the monastery a lot. It's also a good place to pick up a lot of herbs.
Hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that, but I've also like thought I've needed to branch out and other stuff. A lot of games have come out.
Oh, can I give you a bit of advice about the monastery? Make your life a
Okay.
whole lot easier.
Okay.
You've broken into the monastery already, right? So you can get into places. You have the monastery keys.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I said, do I have the monastery key?
Okay,
I've got some key, and I've picked a bunch of locks.
Right. Before you go, you actually give yourself over to the monastery. I recommend you do two things. One, go to the monastery. You know where the overseer is? Sorry, not the custodian, but the overseer.
Mm-mm.
Okay, he's up in one of the buildings right up in front. Sneak into that building at night, take a left, keep going until you get to it's not the bishop, it's the head dude. Smother him in his bed, just knock him out, and steal his keys. That will give you the keys to the monastery.
Okay.
Then sneak into the monastery and take some lockpicks and stick them in the chest inside the monastery where there's a alchemy bench with a chest full of, and you don't have to pick the lock. The chest is open. Put a handful of lockpicks in that chest, because it will make your life a lot easier once you join the monastery to be able to have some lockpicks at hand.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go all heist planning on this.
Oh yeah, you would definitely want to give yourself an advantage for stuff.
So I will get to that.
Oh, there you go. There's a
some
link
point.
for AC has put up a link for perks in Kingdom Come Deliverance. There you go.
Thank you. So in addition to that, I'll get into the big one. I played not Jedi Academy, Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I don't know where the colon goes in that title. It's such a dumb title. But this game, it's really good. I don't know if it's great. There's a lot of things about it that kind of bug me, but it's really interesting to see like the Dark Souls style combat mainstreamed, because that's what this does, is it makes it a little bit more accessible. So it's like an open-ended third-person action adventure game. What's kind of strange about it is it's a mix of Uncharted and Dark Souls. Imagine like the traversal and puzzles of Uncharted, but instead of getting into firefights, you get into melee fights that feel like a Souls game. So the way the combat works is you have I'm not sure where to start. Okay, so with enemies, they have a stagger meter, and mainly this has to do with the stormtrooper enemies. They will come running up to you with a laser baton, and if I just swing the lightsaber at them, they'll block it. What you want to do is wait for them to attack, and then you parry them, and that kind of stuns them, and their stamina meter goes all the way down, and that allows you to kill them in one hit. So if you parry them and they stumble and I attack them, boom, they're dead. And this can result in a lot of cool back and forth combat scenarios where two guys come running up to me, one attacks me, I parry and kill him, has the other guy attacks me, I parry him in the middle of my attack and then kill him. And so there's a cool back and forth. Some of the enemies, though, some of the little harder ones, will take a couple hits. Like I'll hit them and it doesn't kill them right away, and then they'll attack me. And so it actually gets in this back and forth of they attack me, I parry them, attack, they parry me, attack, I parry them, attack. And that kind of back and forth that Sekiro really excelled at, I get a little bit of that here. It's not quite to that same degree, none of the combat is just as viciously intense as Sekiro was, but it does capture that same sense of a back and forth sword fight, which is not something that an action game usually gets. It's usually kind of one sided. Not you don't have that back and forth, that block parry, block parry. Um, when you're fighting monsters, it's a little different. Because they don't block, but they do dodge. So a lot of times when I'm fighting a smaller monster, they attack, I parry, and if I attack again, they'll jump back. And so I kind of have to be more aggressive. Um, and it does that thing that Souls games does where each of the enemies has a different attack pattern. And if you don't know that pattern, you can get yourself thrown off because when you parry, one of the things that I don't like is that the parry timing is very awkward. I'm playing on hard mode, and so my parry window is smaller than it would be because I'm coming from like Sekiro and stuff. So I'm kind of used to that really tight parry window. Um, but what makes it awkward is it feels like I have to parry before they even attack for it to be successful. So it's not like they attack and hit me and then I parry. Like the frustration isn't that the window is too small. It's that the window feels like it is offset too close to the beginning. Like, if there's a timeline of pairing here, and like a Souls game has it in the end where someone's going to attack you and you want to hit that parry window, you want to hit it right before they hit you. So like that window is right at the end of the attack. In Jedi, the parry window is right at the beginning of an attack. Because a guy, I've gotten the timing down now, but the timing is basically a guy comes running up to me, and before he pulls back to hit me, I hit the parry button. And that's the window that it takes for him to then swing, get parried, and then I attack him. And it's just a very awkward timing. And I'm not. It's that window. It's something. I'm always fighting it. I'm always fighting against like my instinct to wait until the attack is closer.
So playing Sekiro actually hurt you in this game because it gives you a timing that is exactly the opposite of what you should be doing in this game.
A little bit. Like I think it also does help just because it gets you into a better mindset of how the combat works. Because like you see this video, like a Souls game, like a Sekiro, it's a lot of dodge, attack, dodge away, dodge forward, attack, dodge away, maybe parry a little bit, dodge away. Like it's a lot of that. Get in close, get your hits in, then back off. And that's the pace that a lot of the boss fights or harder enemies take, which is really, really fun. What I also find frustrating is the exploration. This is an Uncharted-esque game in that you've got a big environment and you spend a lot of time climbing around on things and exploring. But it's also really Metroidvania in that you'll encounter a bunch of areas that you can't get to just yet because you're lacking the right ability. So on the first planet, there's a lot of smooth walls that I can't pass until I get the wall run ability. On some other planets, there's like some crumbly rock walls that I won't be able to pass until I get the force push ability, and I can break all of them. And like this is just me. Every time I see one of those, I just get frustrated. Like, oh motherfucker! There's a path here, and I can see there's a path here, but you've blocked it. And in a Souls game, the levels are all sort of windy and they loop back in on each other, but there's a sense of exploration, a fun sense of exploration in that. I know I can go down any path in a Souls game and maybe it'll wrap back around or something, but if I go down any path, like there's something to see there. Like I can go down any path. Even if the enemies are too hard and even if they'll mess me up, I can go down that path. And so in this game, the fact that I go down a path and then I see a locked door, that I can't get to until I get an ability that's like on another planet, my first instinct is, oh fuck you, I just want to go here. Just let me go here. Um, and so that's nothing so against the game, because that's sort of like the core of the design, and not just this design, but the design of this type of game. Like that is very central to it. And I find myself, the things about this game that I find myself fighting against are specifically the ways in which it is not a Souls game. Because the combat and the exploration, like I said, it feels like it takes that Souls formula and mainstreams it in a way that other people would find really accessible. And I find it to be like, this isn't the Souls game that I know. This feels wrong. But at the same time, I get why you did it. I really do. But I am having a fun time with it. Like it is a neat game, just design wise. Um,
Is it the game we've all been waiting for? The Star Wars game we've all been waiting for?
I mean, sure, because it just does more than any other Star Wars game has done. Like it's not a bland shooter. Um, I've heard the story gets really, really interesting towards the end. In the beginning, it's okay. It feels very gamey because it's one of those game stories that like throws you right into the action. The game takes place in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
So before Luke Skywalker, after Anakin becomes Darth Vader, after all the Jedi are executed, and so you are a Jedi hiding out on this uh not a mining planet, place where ships get broken down, like a
Salvage Planet.
yeah, like a salvage planet, hiding out on a salvage planet, doing some salvage jobs, and some shit happens. And maybe the story will explain this, but like this is what I mean by it feels weirdly gamey, and that throws you into the action. Some shit happens. I use my force powers to save my friend, and he's like, "Oh shit, man, you're a Jedi. Yeah, okay, I'll keep your secret." Not 10 minutes later, the Empire has arrived and is like, "We're looking for a hidden Jedi. If you don't tell us, we'll kill all of you." And I'm thinking, like, how the fuck do they know? Like, did someone sense my use of the Jedi power and has tracked me here? It never explains it. It's just like, it's that typical, oh, I'm a special person is hiding out, pretending to be normal. Someone finds the secret. And it's like, okay, I get this. I get this trope. But I don't see how that connects to the Empire tracking me down. And maybe it will explain it. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I was just like, yeah, okay, I guess the Empire found me, sure, and just sort of went along with it. But from there, it's like, hey, you're on the run. It's a cool action sequence, and then out of nowhere, these people show up to rescue you, and they're like, hey, let's go on this big quest. It's like, okay, I guess I'm on this quest now, because it's not like I was doing anything else with my life, and my secret identity was kind of blown. And then you go onto the quest to jump to a bunch of planets and track down like this ancient alien society and like their super special ancient secret. Um, so yeah, like the beginning felt very gamey in the way that it sets things up, because I didn't see a lot of connection from someone discovering my secret to the Empire showing up and then these comrades appearing out of nowhere to put me on an epic hero's quest. It's like, whatever, fuck it, I'm on the quest, let's do it. But I've heard that it gets really good later on, and I'm looking forward to getting into that. For the most part, though, I'm enjoying the exploration and I'm enjoying the combat, and that's why I say I think it's good and not great, because there's a lot of little things about it that I feel like just could have been fixed a little bit. Like the story could have just been, the connective tissues could have been made a little stronger. Like the exploration could have been made a little bit more intuitive. The combat could have been improved just a little. These little ways, these little tiny things that bother me specifically. But overall, like I'm enjoying the hell out of it, and it's a really good game. And also for Star Wars fans and people that have been wanting this type of Star Wars game for so long, it's a real like breath of fresh air because EA's been putting out these Battlefront games ever since they got the license. People have been like, all right, let's get like a big budget Star Wars game. Let's get like a cool action adventure Star Wars game. But they've only done these first person shooters because that's kind of what the market says it wants. Is it wants first person shooters, and that's all we've gotten. And so to get something like this, even if it's not great, even if it does have a lot of little flaws, it still feels like it's about time. It's not like too little too late, or it's not like I forget the specific term, but like you're begging for scraps, like, oh, it's not that good, but it's the best we've got.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that. Like that's really underselling the game. It is a genuinely good game, even if there are parts of it that bother me specifically. But yeah, I'll keep playing it and trying to work my way through it and Kingdom Come. See,
AC Wraith says, I find your lack of Metroidvania disturbing, Nick.
so that's the thing. Normally, I like Metroidvania games. I don't have a problem with that genre. It's just in this game specifically, in the way that it mimics a Souls game, to then be in that like mode of thinking and to then encounter a locked door is like, oh, you little fuckers! I'm just gonna. So yeah, that's why I say like I can't hold that against the game, and I don't think that's like a sign of bad game design or anything, because that's what a Metroidvania game is you get to a locked door and you have to come back later with an ability that you don't have yet. Like that's the core of that whole genre.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with that. It's just kind of. And that's one of the things I like about this game too, is just seeing the weird ways that it mixes genre, that it mixes Uncharted style traversal with Metroidvania style structure, with Dark Souls style combat. Like, it is such a bizarre fucking mix of things. And the fact that it all comes together in something that feels as holistic as it does, that feels as natural as it does, is genuinely fascinating. Like, it's not just a third-person action adventure game. Like, Respawn took a genuine risk and made something weird. Like, they just took elements from all these different games and mashed them together, and I'm like, it's so fucking weird, but it's cool. It's cool to see a AAA developer take that kind of genuine risk with design. So, yeah, kudos to them. I want to keep playing and seeing what weird things it
how many hours are you into it right now?
Maybe 5 or so. I kind of finished the second planet. Like there's one planet, the salvage planet, that's like basically just the tutorial and the intro. There's like another planet where you get sent on. It's like the first step of your hero's quest. And then I have finished the third planet. And so now I'm sort of off to the fourth one. I don't know how many planets there are, but good 5-6 hours in.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll hear more about it, sometime later.
Mm-hmm.
So any other games, any mobile games you've been playing?
Yeah. There are two I want to talk about. One of them is good. One of them I didn't like. But I think they both try to do something different and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is called Spaceland. And this is a top-down, turn-based tactics game. It's a tactics game, like Templar, Battle Force, or XCOM. The difference, and the thing that it tries to do different, is that you basically don't have any ammo. Imagine XCOM, but all of your soldiers only had one clip in their guns. So once it got to the point where you had to reload, you couldn't. And you could only reload if you found an ammo crate in the level. Mm-hmm. That's Spaceland. And so I from the very beginning, I found that design decision to be just infinitely frustrating.
Oh.
Because I like,
and not in a good way frustrating or bad.
No, because I like to kill things. I like to make sure that the enemy is
Okay.
dead before I move on, right? I like to clear the level. And I kept playing it. I kept playing it because I kept kind of wanting to see if
If
this
it's as bad as you
really
think it is.
well, no, I wanted to see if this really heavy restriction led to any like interesting gameplay
Mhm.
moments, right? Like if it forced me to do something interesting. Um, but I don't feel like it did because it just made whenever I shot my gun and I missed, like that just felt like a giant fuck you because that wasted shot means so much more.
Mhm.
Um, and what I found myself doing is really just running through the level as fast as I could. Like I don't think that restriction resulted in any interesting tactical decisions on my part. It's not like I have to choose what enemies I engage with in a really interesting tactical way. It's really just I need to get in and get the objective and get the fuck out as fast as I can because every shot is a ticking clock and I just need to get in and get out and fuck the rest. If a man goes down, whatever, that's fine. It's not like XCOM where he loses. I'll get him back at the end of the level. It's fine. Just move on. Just run to the end. And so what I found what happened is I would just I played the game like it was a speed run. So instead of like trying to engage tactically and strategically with the levels and the enemies, I'm just trying to get through it as fast as I can. And not because I'm hating it, but because the ammo restriction is so strict. I need if killing only the enemies that are in my direct path like wipes out my ammo. So
Mhm.
I'm empty by the time I get to the end. So it's like, okay, if I stay any longer, I will die. Um, and it's just so fucking annoying. And I don't know why they did it. And I want to like kind of like Jedi. I want to give them the respect of doing something different, but I hate the different thing that they did so much and I don't feel like it adds anything to the game that I just came away from it not enjoying it. Not enjoying it at all.
Mm.
Um so the other game that I played, the other mobile game. Oh,
Mhm.
you're gonna say something?
Nope. Just to say,
Okay.
sounds like it's a thumbs down.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's called like Hiroshi and Yo Yokata, Takashi and Hiroshi. Um, it's about Takashi and Hiroshi, these brothers. One of them's they're young kids. Like one of them's 14, the other's like 8. The 14-year-old is a fledgling game designer, and his little brother just loves to play the games that he has. And one day, your little brother is like, "I want to play the game. I want to play the game that you're making," and you're like, "Oh shit, it's not finished." But he's so excited about it. Okay, I've got an idea. If I play as the enemy, uh, then he'll be able to play. And so what it ends up being is, in the core of it, it's kind of like this automatic RPG where the character is going to run to the right automatically and just automatically attack any enemy in his way. Um, but what's neat is you choose what enemies to put in his way. Because the conceit is your brother is playing the game and thinks that he's getting into random encounters, but really you are deciding what specific enemies that he fights. Like you are deciding the encounters that he gets into. And you want to balance it. You have 5 rounds, and you want to balance the stress of the fight with the excitement of it. And so if he defeats the enemy too easily, his stress like goes down and he gets bored. But if it's too hard, he'll die. And it's like, okay, you have to start over. So you want to throw enough enemies at him that he gets really hurt, but not enough that he dies because you want him to win. And so if you like the real goal is to like give him a fight that almost kills him. And the more it almost kills him, but it doesn't, like that's really exciting. And so it's not a difficult game because all you're really doing gameplay wise is selecting the enemies that he fights, like slime or 2 slimes, or a slime and a skeleton, and a snake creature. and like that's all you're doing. But it's just a really cool, different way of thinking about an RPG. Like instead of thinking about how am I going to kill these enemies, I'm thinking about more kind of like a game designer of like I want to throw enough enemies at this kid that he has a hard time, but I want him to ultimately win. Like I don't want to kill him because that's not the point of the game. The point of the game is for me to lose. And so what Spaceland didn't do and what this game does is it makes me think about these encounters in a really interesting way, in a different way. Like I'm thinking about it from the opposite point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And so every time I send enough enemies at him that he gets down to like 1 HP but wins, it's like, oh fuck yeah, he just got 200 points of joy from that fight. It's like, all right, I'm a good game designer. But in between these little moments, in between these gameplay moments, it just tells like a really sweet little story of these two brothers. It's done in like a claymation style that's really cute. It's very anime-esque. The characters almost look like Playmobil figures in the way that they move. But it's also it looks like those the old fucking snowman claymation video, the
Yeah.
Christmas one.
Yes, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes, it looks like that, and it's really sweet. And the story, like I forget which kid is which one's Takashi and which one's Hiroshi, but the young one has like asthma, and so he's in the hospital, and so like you're a good big brother who's gonna go there and give him the game and be nice, but then at school, like you meet this other game designer who's like, oh, I make games too. Do you want to do this? And he's like, oh, fuck you, man. You think you're hot shit? My games are better. I've got a fan, and so it's just like it's a very typical, very tropey, but also just a very sweet and charming story of these two kids just being fucking kids. In mixed in with this game that's not challenging, but it's just really, really interesting. So yeah, Takeshi and Hiroshi, just a cool, sweet little game. This is the kind of game that Apple Arcade is made for, because this is the kind of game that's short enough and simple enough that like you know, if you spend $1 on it, it's like, okay, it's worth $1. Like if they charge anything above that, people will be like, oh, you're ripping me off. But it's also such an interesting and such a different type of game, but also such a good game that it's worth playing. Um, and it's difficult to balance. Like in the App Store specifically, it's impossible to balance that kind of like, oh, this is a really sweet, cool game that you should play, but like it's probably worth more than $1, but they could never get away with charging more than that without people getting angry. So Apple Arcade is like made for this type of game, and so I'm glad to see the service like living up to its stated goal of giving more of these games.
Good.
Was this umpteen games on the developer website, and that isn't one of them, so I have to go to the store. Oh, okay.
Which is the store, the link for the store.
Yeah. I don't know who the developer is. Just from it, I assume that it could just be some 14-year-old Japanese kid.
Oink Games is the name of the developer,
Oink Games.
according to AC Wraith, who I trust implicitly. So
It's okay. Yeah, I've talked a lot.
Yep.
That's all I've played. Jedi, Takashi, Spaceland, which is gone from my phone. Fuck that. And Kingdom Come, which, god damn it. I bought that game on sale, like thinking that I would just get into it for a couple hours and then fall off. Because, like, I started it a week before Death Stranding came out. I bought a bunch of indie games when it came out. I got Jedi now. Like, that game fucking ruined my plans for the end of year gaming binge because it's so fucking long and it's so fucking good that like I haven't started Death Stranding. I haven't started any indie games that I
Uh-oh. Nick, have we lost you? Voice-wise? Anybody on in the chat room? Are you hearing Nick's audio? Looks like you have been muted. Trying to unmute your mic, dude. can't unmute their mic. Their mic isn't connected, it says.
Hello?
Oh, now you're back. There you go. You had a internet blip.
Muted. All of a sudden, the mute button on Spreaker was clicked.
Yeah, something happened with the audio. Anyway.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So, fucking Kingdom Come came out of nowhere and just like bowled over all my plans for gaming at the end of the year.
Yeah, it kind of did. I'm not
In a
gonna
good way.
lie.
In a good way. Like I can't complain about it, but I'm also going to complain about it. It's first world problems.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like a puppy. Like, oh, you wrecked my life, and I love you for it.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So on that note, shall we hit the news?
Yeah.
All right. Then let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with gamer Edie and Nick DeNicola and No Holy Goalie. And our first item is Nick. You've got the big item.
Oh yeah. Stadia came out. Well, that might be a little
Yeah.
generous. That might be being a little generous.
Yeah.
So I've read a bunch of stuff about the service, and it seems like the general consensus is the technology works surprisingly well, even if it's not perfect and it doesn't live up to, even if it doesn't compare to a console. For the price point and the entry, like it works. Like the technology works.
Right.
The service is shit though. Like the actual Stadia service sucks. Not like the streaming service. Not like the quality of the stream coming to you. Just the bells and whistles of the service sucks. Stadia launched without a lot of the features that sort of define Stadia. So that means no state share, no state share, which was the feature they touted where I could save the state of my game and give it to you, and you could pick up with that exact same state. So like you could start playing the game from my save state with like my history, my skill tree, my narrative decisions. Like so streamers could do that too to kind of create challenges for their viewers. That's not in there. Another sort of like Connect Play, that's not in there. I don't even know what that did, but that's not in there. You can't do it from any. You can only do it from an Android phone. But then if you're doing it from an Android phone, you can only stream it to a Google Pixel phone. Other Android phones are not supported. And if you're doing
iPhone, is iPhones?
No.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's a problem.
But also, if you're doing it with the phone, you need like the controller wired to the phone. It's not actually wireless. If you are playing it on your TV, you can't buy games from the Stadia store. You have to go to the website to buy games. You can't do it through the TV interface. And even just like the selection of games is really shallow. Like it was 11, and then at the last minute they bumped it up to like 22 or 24 or something. But like you look at those games, and no diss to the games, because a lot of them are really good games, but they're also like games that you played. If you're anyone that plays games regularly, you've probably played these games before. Like a lot of them are at least a year old. I think Red Dead Redemption on PC is like maybe the most recent release, or Borderlands 3 isn't on there, but like everything that they're offering is just something that, I was like, I look at that list and go, I have literally played almost everything on this list, and the things that I haven't played are things I don't want to. And for me, it kind of boggles my mind that Jedi is not on here, that Need for Speed is not on here, that Modern Warfare is not on here. Like, how can you have it's not a console technically, but how can you have a platform launch without the big games of the year? Like, why are these games not on Stadia?
The best of 2018.
Exactly. Like, why are the 2019 games not on this platform? And like that speaks to kind of the general feelings around this launch is that it really is just a beta. Like, for as big as a show as they put on at E3 and as much as they talked about it, it's not complete. It's just a fucking beta. You paid $130 to get into this demo service. And the most
and the
that I saw,
$130, how much time does that cover? Do they still have to pay their monthly fee?
so you get 3 months of that. You get 3 months of their service with that bundle. And that monthly service, it said the appearance of it, the understanding that at least I had coming out of E3 is that monthly service would be like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live, where you get a free game with it each month. I have no idea if that's the case. For this launch, you get Destiny 2, and even though Destiny 2 is free to play, you get Destiny 2 like up to date with all of the expansion. So you kind of get the latest Destiny 2 with the Stadia subscription. I don't know what will come next month or the month after. I don't know if they'll have other games. I would hope so, because that would be. If not, their subscription is almost pointless. You don't. I think now you need a subscription to play it, but in theory you won't later on. In theory, I will be able to just open Chrome on my browser, log into Stadia with my Google account, and stream something. But that also, like, it raises the question of this is a service they can shut down at any time,
right?
And you're still paying full price for games. Like,
Right.
they sent out a press release that had the prices for a lot of these games, and a lot of them are still just $60. And it's like, well, it has not made the case for why I should spend $60 on a streaming service where I get an okay quality game versus spending $60 on a game for a console that I might already have. And then there's the issue of data caps. I was listening to the Waypoint podcast, and Patrick Klepek was talking about the settings that you could do for Stadia. And I guess the settings has like a high, which uses up like 10 gigabytes an hour or something like that, maybe 20 gig an hour.
Wow, that's a lot.
But then it's like there was a medium setting, which didn't give you the specifics, and then a low setting that would like cap you at 720p and said this does 4.5 gig an hour. And I think that's the more important data point, because at minimum, you're going to blow through 4.5 gig per hour of any data cap. And so, like, I've never had an issue with data caps. I probably have one, but I've never bumped up against it, because generally the streaming that we do and the games that I download are not enough to hit that cap. Even though we do a lot of streaming stuff, but like if I took all the time I have gaming and I added 5 gigabytes to that, I would absolutely blow through any cap that I have.
Yeah.
And it's weird that this launch is so spotty and so like half-baked. But I was reading the comment section of the Kotaku article had what is possibly the best and most thoughtful critique of this whole thing. And not really critique, but more of a reasoning. And I don't know who said it, so I can't give them credit. But they said that Stadia is not actually meant to compete with consoles now. It's meant to compete with the next gen consoles.
Right.
That Google is fine shitting it out now, because their assumption is that when Sony and Microsoft put out their new consoles next year, they can say, well, instead of paying $500 for a new console, you can spend, $70 to get a Comcast Ultra for Stadia and sign up for that and get better games there. And so I think their belief, like Google's belief, is that like, even if this launch sucks, we'll spend the next year improving it to the point where we will then actually be able to compete with next gen consoles, because nothing they offer now offers any real reason to get Stadia over a console, because you can get some of these consoles pretty damn cheap.
Right.
Like you can probably get an Xbox One S for $150, which is almost as much as the Stadia Founder.
Right. And I would imagine that the next upcoming set of consoles will be, especially for the streaming, the digital download consoles. I would imagine have they confirmed that there's going to be streaming consoles? Because I think that might be a thing.
Microsoft is working on xCloud, which is their special service. Sony, I think, said that they made some deal to use Microsoft servers for a streaming thing, but they haven't really talked anything about it.
Right.
Sony seemed to be really hesitant about it, and Microsoft has been more gung ho. Like one of the funny things Patrick Klepek said on that Waypoint podcast is that playing Stadia made him really excited to see what Microsoft does. Because it made him believe that the technology is there and it could be really interesting and implemented well.
Right.
But Stadia doesn't do it. But like to see it implemented in an ecosystem that is more fleshed out, like Xbox Live, that could be really, really interesting.
Right.
Like if you added streaming to all the Game Pass games, that might be a much better offer. Or just, offer streaming as part of a service package that doesn't feel like it's so completely bare bones.
Right.
So.
All right. So my first item is the Game Awards nominations have come out. There's the Game Awards is about a month.
Oh, the Keeleys.
The Keeleys. Yeah, the Keeleys are gonna air on December 12th. At 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And they're going to be streamed on GameSpot and Mixer and Twitch and YouTube and everywhere else. But we have our nominations. It looks like Control and Death Stranding are absolutely dominating the entire thing. Right now, Game of the Year is set for nominations are Control, Death Stranding, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and Outer Worlds. Control,
Okay.
Outer Worlds, and Death Stranding dominating everything. In fact, Outer Worlds, Control, and Death Stranding for best performance. One person from Outer Worlds, two people from Control, two people from Death Stranding, all nominated for Best Performance, and one lonely person, Laura Bailey, as Kate Diaz from Gears 5. That's the only one that's not Outer Worlds, Control, or Death Stranding for Best Performance. Independent game. What?
Go Gears.
Go Gears.
Go Laura Bailey. Standing, waving the Gears flag.
Yeah, among Norman Reedus and everybody else. And yes, Norman Reedus is nominated for Best Performance, and he's totally going to win because he's Norman Reedus.
Maybe. I mean, he's...
come on. He's totally going to win.
No, this is the question of just how Oscars-like are the Keeleys. Because if they're Oscars-like, then he'll win, because it's the most performance. I don't know if it's the best performance, but it's the most performance. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio in that the fucking wild movie, The Revenant. The Revenant, he won for that one. He did not do a good acting job in that one. He did a fine job. It was a good movie, and he did a fine acting job. But it's like, oh, you like put yourself through a lot of trouble. You like crawled into the guts of an animal. You like made yourself all nasty. That's the most performance. So that deserves an Oscar. Now, granted, I haven't seen Death Stranding, so I haven't played it, so I don't know if he could do a generally good job. But it's also just looking at that game and like all the motion capture they do. My first instinct is he just did the most.
Right. So yeah, Game of the Year, Best Independent Game, Baba Is You, Disco Elysium, Katana Zero, Outer Wilds, and Untitled Goose Game nominated.
That is a really interesting selection, because I have heard like massive raves about both Outer Wilds and Disco Elysium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Like I've heard that both of those are like the praise I've heard for them has been unlike most things. I've heard more people say Outer Wilds is their game of the year than like any other game this year. Um, I'm fascinated to get to play it. That's one of the indie games that I bought that I have been ignoring because of fucking Kingdom Come.
Yep. Best mobile game, Call of Duty Mobile. TMI, which is TMI Studios, Timai Studios. Timai, must be Timai. Or
Timai?
Teamy, whatever. Grindstone, Sayonara Wild Hearts,
Wow.
Sky, Children of Life, and What the Golf.
Fuckers. What the Golf? Yes. Grindstone. I did not like Grindstone.
I know you didn't. And looking at
And
other
why
ones.
is Side?
What?
Why is Sayonara Wild Hearts? I have not played a bunch of that on mobile, but like, I want to play through all of it, but like that is a game that is more music video than game, and has such like it deserves to be played on a big screen. That is not a good mobile game. Like, I need to play through all of it.
According to the Keeleys, it is.
I need to play through all of it on because I downloaded it because it's on Apple Arcade. But like everything I hear about it is like, yes, this is a really cool music video and like it's a good visual showcase and stuff. But like that deserves to be seen on TV, not a fucking little. It's not a good mobile game. Fuck you, Keeleys. You don't know shit.
Best RPG is Disco Elysium, Final Fantasy 14, Kingdom Hearts 3, Monster Hunter World, and Outer Worlds. And Borderlands 3 is nominated for best action adventure game.
Cool. That's a killer list for action adventure games.
Yeah. Including Death Stranding, Control, Resident Evil 2, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Yeah, it was a really good year for.
I've heard a lot of people
adventures
on podcasts complaining that this has been like a very low year for games. It's just like a very low key year, and I didn't get that at all. I feel like there's been a bunch of huge shit.
No, I don't. It depends on what kind of game you like.
That's true, and like even if my perception is slightly skewed because like we've been playing and really loving a game from 2018, so I guess technically you wouldn't count that. I still think looking at all the games on this list, it's been a really good year.
Yeah. Yep. So so Keeleys are out. We'll see on December 12th who might be the winner. Anybody want to make any guesses on its certainly game of the year? What do you think is going to take game of the year?
What was the list? Okay. Control, Death Stranding.
It's going to be Death Stranding. No question.
See, I want...
Here's why. Here's why. Kojima. It's a Kojima thing. And it's and yes, the game is very, very good. Don't get me wrong. And yes, there's a lot of hype on it. That's awesome. But it's the whole Kojima's history with the Games Awards. That, him not being allowed to be there in the past by Konami to pick up for Metal Gear and getting booed on the Game Awards, and now he's coming back with his new game. He's going to take it.
I mean, it's a good story.
He's going to take
and
it.
Like,
that's exactly. And they live for these kinds of stories.
So also here's the thing too. Looking at that list, Death Stranding is totally the Oscar bait of all those games. Like it is the most Oscar bait game of all those. But
absolutely.
If you're asking me what I want to win, what should win versus what will win.
What should win?
Sekiro.
You think so? Think Sekiro is a bit? Well, you haven't played Death Stranding, so you don't know.
I haven't played Death Stranding, but also I really loved Sekiro. I love Sekiro, even though like I played that game in the evening, and I woke Caitlin up multiple times, screaming at it out of frustration, and nearly like snapping my controller in half out of anger at some of the points in that game. But in retrospect, I only have good memories, and also. Like that game is really cool. That game is really fucking cool.
So yeah.
But okay, what do you think would win? What do you think should win?
See, it's hard because I didn't play Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I have not yet played Death Stranding. I have not yet played Control. I didn't play Resident Evil 2. I'm a terrible person to ask because
Have you played any of those?
No, I haven't played
Okay.
any of those. Isn't that terrible? I'm a bad podcaster.
Yeah.
But I would have played Control and Death Stranding, and I might not have played Sekiro because it's not my kind of game.
Yeah, don't worry.
But for Kingdom Come Deliverance, that screwed me. So yeah. So your next item?
I think that was all I had.
All right. Then I've got one.
Now let me jump onto Reddit to see if anything happened.
Oh, here's something to look up. Look up the Easter egg or the tweet that was put out by Bethesda about Dragon Age. Oh, the Twitterverse went nuts. I will let you.
Wait, Bethesda? BioWare?
BioWare, I mean, not Bethesda. BioWare. BioWare tweet Dragon Age. So, yeah, I actually read through all the replies on it. It was pretty funny. So Amy Henning, this is my item. Amy Henning, you know her. She's the mother of Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, arguably some of the best games ever made for the PlayStation. She left. She was working at EA, and left the company because when the Star Wars game that she was working on was canceled. She has now made an announcement that she will be joining Skydance Media. She's launching a new game studio. Skydance Media is a company that produces films like Mission Impossible Fallout, Gemini Man, Annihilation, and Terminator Dark Fate. She's going to oversee the company's new game development label. And she's going to be working with one of her coworkers from EA, Julian Beek. And in a statement to VentureBeat company's CEO David Ellison says that both Henning and Beek have been hired because, quote, the interactive media landscape is continually changing, and Amy and Julian are creative and visionary leaders of this evolution. So yeah, essentially, Amy Henning is back making video games for a new company, probably all going to be based on movie IPs, and that's fine.
Not necessarily. Like
three of her games were essentially the best movies ever made.
That's true.
The best Indiana game movies, certainly in the last decade.
But like Annapurna Games doesn't make games based off Annapurna movies.
No, but I would imagine Annapurna is I guess they are. They're both producers.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But chances are it's probably going to be things like Terminator, Gemini,
I highly
Mission
doubt that
Impossible,
because
that kind of stuff.
The market just does not support those type of games anymore. Like it's a bit more hostile to them than it has been in the past.
I think it's far more open to things like that. When
to license-based game?
License-based games? You mean like Star Wars?
Well, okay, Star Wars is different. Star Wars is not.
Is it really
Gemini Man the game?
Is it really all that different?
You cannot tell me that if you saw Gemini Man the game on store shelves, you would not roll your eyes hard.
If it got great reviews, she might be the person, they might be the people that actually make good movie-based games.
But your initial impression would be Gemini Man? Oh, fuck, of course.
I wouldn't see the movie. Why would I play the game? But if the game was good, if everybody said this is the game you always wanted.
Yeah, the game runs at 120 frames per second. That might actually make it better. No, I don't think they'll make license-based games. Not at all.
And Henning is known for making really good story-based games, and
Yeah, she'll make
I've always
cinematic
been about the story.
games that'll look they're completely their own thing.
Well, they're cinematic story-based games that I don't really care if they're attached to Gemini Man. If they're attached to a movie, I wouldn't see. If it's a great game and a great story, I would freaking be all over that.
Yeah.
I want her to make an Indiana Jones game. Granted, that's what Uncharted is, but still, Indiana
Yeah,
Jones
she's already done that.
needed
You can't
her
do
to
that
do
again.
a game. So, yeah, she's gone but not forgotten, and now she's back, which is good. So, did you find that thing that I asked you to find? That thing?
Oh,
That we were talking about that thing?
maybe I don't even know if this is it because this is from November 3rd.
Possibly.
I guess because November 3rd was the 10th anniversary of Dragon Age
Okay,
Origins.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I thought
And
it was
so
recent.
The tweet says, "Today marks 10 years of Dragon Age. This year we're excited to join the community's party on December 4th and celebrate a decade together in the world we all love. See you on 12/4 for Dragon Age Day." And the A in age in Dragon Age Day is a 4, so it's Dragon Voyage Day.
No,
Voyage.
that's no. This is you're not looking at the right thing. Let me pull it up. Okay,
Okay, because
so
I looked at the actual Twitter, and it's like
so
there's
they
something that
tweeted
says I
out.
suspect you have
They tweeted
questions.
out on just on November
A
18th
message.
a message from Solus, and I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I can zoom into it. Hopefully,
No, I saw a
there
message
we
from
go.
Mark Dara and Matthew Goldman.
No, and I don't know if you can see it, but they on the 5th birthday of Dragon Age Inquisition, which was the last Dragon Age game, BioWare tweeted out happy 5th birthday Dragon Age Inquisition with a letter from Solus and a picture. And I don't know if you can read this, but it says, "Inquisitor, the passage of these
Oh, there.
five long years seems but an instant in my heart, yet still ample cause for celebration. T soon, Solus," who was, a character in Dragon Age Inquisition who notoriously hated tea. And of course, there is a tarot card of the tower behind it. The tarot card of the tower. Well, first off, the tower. Second off, tarot card of the tower means destruction and rebirth. So many things to unpack from this. So many Easter eggs. But yeah, and the Twitterverse went nuts with everything. People just it essentially tweeted that something's in the works. Dragon Age is definitely, they're working on it. And, it was a nice thing to throw at the fans for the 5th anniversary of Dragon Age Inquisition. So, yeah. That was what I threw at you, but you didn't pick up.
Yeah,
I'm laying it down, but you're just not picking it up, dude.
You threw like a Dragon Age lore thing at me, and that's not my jam. I don't know Dragon Age lore.
All you had to do was look up, just Google search it, and you would have found an article that that explained it.
I did. I didn't.
You didn't find it. No.
No.
All right. In other news that I have, so the developer Campo Santo. They're the ones that made Firewatch. And they have been working on another game that everybody's super excited about. Well, things may not be going well in the world of Campo Santo.
Oh no.
They announced in 2017 that they were working on a game called Valley of the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
And just in the last week, a number of very prominent members of the Campo Santo team have quit the company. At least it seems so. Their bios on Twitter and in other places have gone from working on Valley of the Gods to nothing or not working on Valley of the Gods. No, they haven't said not working on, but they've all the references to Valley of the Gods on their Twitter bios have disappeared. In addition, on Campo Santo's website, which used to feature Valley of the Gods as being as a game in progress, that's been removed off of their website, their homepage. So yeah, that's it. No word of what's going on, but it seems like Valley of the Gods is in the shitter right now. It is not moving.
That sucks.
And everybody in the company that was working on Valley of the Gods all changed their Twitter bios to remove any mention about Valley of the Gods on November 17th, all on the same day.
Yeah, so I guess that means very pointedly that they are not working on that game.
Right. And what's
So
significant is that Valley of the Gods was announced in 2017 at the Game Awards. Last in April 2018, so, a few months later, Campo Santo was purchased by Valve. So they started the game under a different company. Valve purchased them. They were working on it until, at least from what we can tell, November 17th, and now it's disappeared. And there hasn't been any news about it since as far as I know, all of 2019. So things are afoot at the Campo Santos.
Fucking Valve. They don't want to put out games.
They don't.
Which is ironic because they did announce a game.
And why would they?
Why
would they purchase Campo Santo if they're not interested in making games?
So yeah, there was a. I have news. Valve announced a Half-Life game.
Yes, they did.
Not Half-Life 3.
No.
Because they're just trolling people.
Because they don't make games.
It's something called Half-Life Alyx. And Alyx was one of the co-protagonists in Half-Life 2.
Right.
And they say it is going to be their flagship VR title. So finally, VR games would have a big budget killer app. I guess. It's funny. A lot of it was met with that of like, oh, I guess I'll have to buy a VR headset, but I don't want to buy a VR headset.
Right.
And it's also kind of weird. It kind of feels a lot like Stadia, where it's like, oh, you put out like your VR headset 3 years ago? Has it been 3 or 4 years since the Vive came out?
When did the Vive come out?
So I think that was the Oculus.
The HTC Vive was unveiled in March 2015 and released on June 2016. So it's been 3 plus
3 years. So yeah, 3 years, and they finally put out they finally say they're putting out a game.
Yeah.
We've learned not to trust them.
Right, exactly.
They did not add a release date to it. Important.
No, they did not.
Don't believe them. You know what happened last time Valve put out a game? It was shit.
Which game was that?
I don't even remember it. Not Anthem. Artifact. The Dota card trading game that was so bad they stopped selling it and like retooling everything about it.
Right, I remember that.
So yeah. Think about the world we live in, where the last game Valve put out was so bad they stopped selling it.
And also, let's point out that it's been 3 years since VR. Like, everything was about, this is the new face of gaming. This is going to change everything. VR. And the lines were all the way around the block just to try out a headset at conventions. And yeah, VR is a thing. I mean, there's some, but it's like mobile gaming, but without the adoption rate. It's still not core gaming.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not.
I would put it
Yeah,
even lower than that. Like it's just a niche.
it's
It's just
niche
it's a
gaming.
very
Yes.
small niche thing. It's cool. I've tried enough headsets at PAX to be like, yeah, this is neat. But I mean, part of that is just because the cost for it is still really high. And
Right.
I think that's getting better. Like Oculus has their $200 wireless headset that I've heard is actually pretty good. And I think the PSVR has done a lot to like mainstream it in a
Mm-hmm.
way. And if
Mm-hmm.
Sony doubles down on that, like I read some rumor that they're doubling down on VR for the next console, that could help. Um, you know, not necessarily make it super niche, but like not make it a little bit less niche.
Yeah. AC Wraith says, are there any of the people who made the old games even there anymore? I don't know.
I honestly don't. I
Probably
don't.
not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If they're into making games, they and not just sitting around collecting a paycheck and faffing about
if
like
you
they're trying to work because they're
if
not
you're
releasing
into making,
games.
if you want to make games, don't work for Valve.
Don't work for Valve. They don't make games. They make Steam.
Yeah,
They make changes to Steam. That's it.
slowly.
The Wizard. I love the Power Glove. It's so bad. I have to watch. I don't
What?
know. Maybe it might. Is this something
What did
that would
that?
be good without sound? AC Wraith.
I think so. I know the wizard. What did What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. It's Power Glove, maybe.
The
Is it?
Nintendo Power Glove? That's the one with Frank Savage, right? Not Frank Savage. Fred Savage.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
You
the Wonder
mean
Years kid.
Wonder Gears can't? Okay, what about it?
He's in the wizard.
Oh, it's probably a line where he says something about he loves the Power Glove.
No, it's the movie is about Fred Savage like going, oh, the Power Glove is VR. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
No, the wizard is about Fred Savage and his family going like a road trip to a gaming competition where in the end he plays like Super Mario Brothers in a competition with the Nintendo Power Glove.
Oh,
If you
okay.
click that link, I'm sure you'll see the video.
I'm sure. Well, let's see if I can
It was
pull it
like a
up.
great
Will it let
ad for
me?
the Power Glove that did not in any way, shape, or form work as well as it does in that movie.
Okay. Let's see if I can pull it up. Stand by.
I'll look for something else.
Come on. There we go.
Oh, I guess
He
Shenmue
says, "I
3
love the Power Glove."
finally came out. Oh yeah, Shenmue 3 came out on the 19th. I have no idea how well it is. It looked like a Shenmue game.
Yeah.
Apparently, the average on Metacritic is 70. So yeah,
It's an average.
that's higher than I thought it would be.
Yep.
And hey, there was one person. It was just a funny tweet that was like one person saying like all the white whales are gone. Like we got Last Guardian, we
Yeah.
got a third Half-Life game, we got Shenmue 3, we got a Final Fantasy
Sort
7 remake.
of.
The Duke Nukem Forever came out. Like
Yeah.
all of those games, they're like all the white whales.
Yeah. Nobody really cares about Huxley anymore.
Yeah, no one remembers that. I don't even remember that. I only know of that based on what you've said.
Dragon Age 4 is right now the white whale.
Yeah, right.
What else is there another white whale? Anybody you want to log in on the chat room about white whales still around in this world?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What else could there be that we're done? Oh, Zombies, the best zombie game Valve ever made.
Left 4 Dead 3.
Left 4 Dead 3. There's the white
I guess
whale.
they haven't officially announced that though. I remember there was a leak that said people were working on that.
And there's still Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh, right. I guess that's still in theory coming out, but we'll see.
Right. Both of them are both in theory coming out. Yeah, sure. People are working on it. We'll tease it at every E3 or the occasional E3. But yeah, those are the two white whales that still remain.
Yeah. Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 2. I think that still definitely counts. They've said they're working
Oh
on it,
yeah.
but
Oh yeah. Unless we
that
forget,
was a
there
while
was a
ago.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 teaser that we have yet to see beyond anything. When was that?
That was like 2 years ago, I think. That was a
Looking
while
it up
ago.
right now. It was that says 2000. Oh, it was June 2018. It looks like was when they
That might
teased
be
it.
when they last teased it. I think they teased it before that.
Right.
They teased it at an E3.
Yeah, no, it was 2018. June in 2018 was when this teaser
Oh wait,
is
that was
listed.
last year. What?
Yeah. Yeah,
Fuck.
that was last year.
Yes, 2018 was a year ago.
Oh, I want this
Yeah,
game so
that
badly.
looks neat. There's a lot
And
of like cool looking Ubisoft games that are not coming out this year.
yeah, yeah. Well, Ubisoft is very good at having a lot of games just sitting in their vault,
Well,
supposedly being worked on.
between this, Skull and Bones, and Watch Dogs Legion, like that's
Right,
three
Skull and
really
Bones still hasn't come out.
yeah those got delayed. Three really interesting games that are not coming out this year. They keep getting delayed.
Yeah. Well, maybe in June we'll find out more when E3 rolls around again.
Hmm.
Oh, I want this game so badly. Oh. All right. So I've got nothing else unless you can find something.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm sure something else happened, but I don't remember. I was just reading a whole lot about um Stadia.
It's kind of like watching a car accident in super slow motion.
Hmm.
All right. So let's be efficient about this and end this show. Is there anything else we want to add before we close out the show, Nick?
Well, this is totally time when we talk about TV.
Oh, like what?
I don't know. It's
I've got
stretch,
nothing. I've got
stretch.
nothing. I'm not watching anything on TV.
I'm trying to
Nothing that
think.
you would want to watch. I mean, I'm watching, obnoxious, like British dramedy.
Have you seen The Crown? That seems totally
I
up your
watched
alley.
the first episode last night. Oh,
Okay.
I love The Crown. Love The Crown so much. Yeah, I mean, I just finished up my last season. By the way, if you want to watch a really, really tight drama that is not a foofy British costume drama that like Poldark that I totally love, and Call the Midwife, love Call the Midwife. But there is the entire season is out and it is available, I believe, on Prime through the Masterpiece channel. You might find it elsewhere. Called The Press. So good. Really, really good. I recommend The Press. It's the whole season is just finished up, not this last Sunday, but the Sunday before. So Sunday 2 weeks ago. Big thumbs up. The Press is about, if you
What is it
like,
about?
it's about competing newspapers in London. One of
Okay.
them is small and underfunded and kind of grassrootsy. But I mean, they're a big paper and they're an old paper, but they're not like super slick. And they do good, responsible journalism, but they're in kind of, they're an aging paper that's, a lot of investigative journalism the way that it used to be done. And it's competing with The Sun, which is a very slick, highly funded not entirely traditional journalistic, like they're not against putting boobs on the paper or sort of making up stories a little bit in order to make the politician, it's essentially, and there is a Rupert Murdoch-esque character in it, and it's very, very good. And I'm totally all over it. But then I really loved Newsroom, which I'm heartbroken was canceled. One of the best dramas ever made. Newsroom. Oh, so good. So if you like, especially dramas, tight drama, like really serious dramas about newsrooms and current events and that kind of stuff, yeah, you'll love the press.
Okay, I have a couple other news items that I found. Speaking of streaming, so Microsoft had their X10 event a couple weeks ago, where they announced a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things is they said Project X Cloud. They're planning to launch it next year. They're planning to launch it in 2020. They say Phil Spencer says, yes, Spencer. God, I keep getting the confused. Spencer says that it will be generally available in 2020. They'll integrate it with Xbox Game Pass. So basically, like everything people have, everything Stadia lacks, they should implement it well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we're not that far off from actually seeing how well xCloud works.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will actually have competing streaming services. But in
Yeah, and
addition to
that's going to
that,
be real interesting to have, especially with it's going to be. I don't know. I think Microsoft is making a mistake to go up against Google. I mean,
I
Microsoft is
don't think
putting
so.
itself on a two-front war. It's competing with Xbox and also sort of Nintendo. It's competing with Google. It's competing with Apple. It's like it's standing in the
How's it
middle.
competing with Apple?
Well, for its PC division, for its
Oh,
computer
that's
division.
not a competition.
No, yeah, sort of.
No enterprise uses Apple.
No, that's not true. Oh, that's not true. I
No,
mean, no, that is not true. It depends
no.
on the industry.
Okay,
Design
that could be.
industry is exclusively Apple.
Okay,
Nobody uses PC in the design industry. I'm talking about graphic design, game design, all of that. Nobody uses that. Now, gaming, yeah, PC is dominant, but Apple
well, I
has
understand,
never
but also
been
like
that.
any other industry.
Databases, that's obviously Microsoft. But as far as users, laptops, fuck the laptop industry. That's
Yeah,
kind of a little bit of a divide.
but like that's
Everybody
there's a
wants the
reason.
Mac, but nobody can afford it.
There's also like there's a reason that Apple only took off with like the iPod and iPhone. Like they were fine, they were stable, but they were small. It's only once they got into this new market that Microsoft didn't have anything in, that's when they exploded.
Right. I don't know.
But
It seems like this is going to be a fight, but the question is how many, like Google has a lot more resources than Microsoft to be able to fight
yeah,
this.
but you've seen Stadia, like those resources don't seem to matter much.
It's an interesting article that
It
AC Ray
depends.
posted. People are using xCloud to create couch co-op.
That's but yeah, like Google's resources don't matter if they don't actually put them towards Stadia.
Yeah. Oh, and thank you for AC Rays. Thank you for the link. It says it's called Press, not The Press. And yeah, there's the link for it. Oh, such a good job.
Okay.
And of course, there's Newsroom, which is the Newsroom, which is the Newsroom was so good.
But yeah, the other things that I saw, a lot of stuff was mentioned, was announced for Game Pass, but like the big deal is that pretty much every Final Fantasy is coming. Well, not every Final Fantasy, but all the ones from 7 are coming out. So you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 2, 12, 13, 13 2, 13 3, and 15. So every 3D Final Fantasy except the MMOs are coming to Game Pass,
Oh,
which is like, that's a really big deal. That's
that
really
is a
cool.
very big deal. You could actually literally play all of the Final Fantasy from one end to the other. Just play it
Yeah, that's
serial.
my entire goddamn teenage years right there. That is my childhood on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, Game Pass is. See, you want to know how Microsoft can compete with all those people?
Yeah.
That's how. You offer more services.
True. You
Right?
could do that. Or you
The
could just
platform,
make a good platform.
they also have that.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
and then I had one other thing. Oh yeah, this came out a couple weeks ago. This was from Jason Schreier at Kotaku.
mhm.
According to him, sources say that BioWare plans a complete overhaul for Anthem. That was the article title.
That's like overhauling your horse by shooting it.
Well, okay. So it's funny you say that because they said that basically they plan to overhaul everything. Like when the article got into the details about what they want to change, it's basically like, yeah, we want to change everything from the ground up. And some people calling it Anthem 2.0 or Anthem Next.
Mhm.
But like kind of buried, I feel like he buried the lead because at a certain point, like towards the end of the article, he says that like they don't have any like roadmap for this. Like they don't have a specific plan. It's just like this is what we want to do.
Mhm.
And considering that like the whole history of Anthem has been like, well, this is what we should do, but then they never actually quite implement that in any way.
Mhm.
To hear that their plans are to improve it, that feels like uh, them doing the same thing they've done before. Because like their plan originally was, let's make a good game, and they tried all these things, but like the follow through and the management was real bad. And so like now to hear a rumor that like, yeah, we want to improve it in every conceivable way is
Mhm.
like, well, okay, that's basically saying you want to make a new game. Like that doesn't actually, to me at least, it doesn't necessarily speak to any real plan for the game. It's just like, yeah, we want to make it better, but there's nothing concrete. Okay, here's the quote. He has the quote in the article. He says, a second person on the project told me yesterday that they were still doing, quote, lots of testing things out and experimentation, but still nothing concrete.
Mhm.
And so to me, that just says whatever management like still can't quite get its act together to decide this is what we want to do. And so
Right.
until that happens,
Well, it's
yeah.
that was the problem with Anthem's development is no one knew
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
wanted to
exactly.
do. So it still has that same problem. No one has a vision and is making a decision. It is decision by committee, which means no decision whatsoever. So they can talk about overhauling, and that's a great word to be using for the community. But realistically, if you haven't fixed your problem, which was nobody made a fucking decision, then it's not overhauled, no matter what changes they made to the game. They need someone who is willing to put their head on the line and make a goddamn decision. Just do it. And you can't have failed. This is the perfect opportunity for someone to come in and try to save it. Because no matter how bad it is, no matter how many mistakes you made, it can't be worse than the original mistake you made, which was the game in itself. You can only improve it at this point. You can't make shit any shittier.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, even if they killed the game, it would be an improvement. So, they should someone, I don't really know why anybody is not just stepping up and saying, hey, I've got literally nothing to lose by making changes to the game. Here's what I think we should do. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Somebody has to have an idea.
It's just, do they have the resources and motivation to do
Right,
it?
and that's the problem. And then I agree. There probably aren't a lot of resources to do it because they want it fixed, but they don't want to spend any money because let's face it, it's already got all. It can't recover from the. Well, that's not entirely true.
They can, but also
Destiny recovered from a very
but also
lackluster start.
Destiny started from a much higher position too. Much higher position.
Maybe.
I at least
oh god, I'm
I
having
at
such a
least
brain
played
fart on
through-
games. What
I at least
about
played
No
through all
Man's
of
Sky?
them.
No Man's Sky had as bad a reputation as this.
Yes,
Right.
that's
And
true.
it's recovered. I mean, it
Yeah.
took a long time and a lot of resources. They essentially had to create a whole new game, and it never got the audience that it was anticipating. Like it could have gotten had it done it right the first time.
I guess the difference there is that that studio wasn't working on another game,
Right.
but BioWare has to make Dragon Age 4.
Right. I think BioWare just should let it go. It's a time suck at this point. Either let it go or fund it. But don't go in the middle and say we're going to fix it, but we're not going to give it any money and we're not going to make any decisions. That's not an overhaul. That's just trying to fix the horse's broken leg instead of shooting it. Eventually you're going to have to shoot it. Like hoping the leg heals. Not going to happen.
So yeah, that was all the news I had.
Yeah, as AC Wraith, it wanted to do Warframe. Yeah, sort of. Actually,
Yeah.
they I don't think they intended to want to do Warframe, but that's what they ended up. It came from a different place. They wanted to impress their overlords, and rather than making a game, they made a demo and then just stretched that demo out. So, we'll see. I think that Anthem is never going to come back.
Yeah. Do you remember that came out this year?
It did.
That was so long ago.
It
know
only
Apex Legends?
seems that way because
Apex Legends also came out this year.
Mhm.
It's been out for 1 year.
Yep.
That seems crazy.
Fortnite's only been out for a little more than a year.
No, it hasn't.
It was the end of last year. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. The Fortnite Battle Royale, I should say. Not the Fortnite game. Fortnite game came out, and then they added the Battle Royale after PUBG came out. PUBG was... Oh, I take it back. That was 2 years ago.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm
July-
sorry. I'm missing a year.
Fortnite Battle Royale, 2017.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was missing a year out of my life. Work will do that to you. All right. Bitters Plus said, did somebody say Warframe? You are so easy, my friend. So easy. So anyway, anything else that we want to talk about before we close out this show? Nick. Sir. That would be no. All right. So let's close this out.
What can I think of? I haven't even seen any TV shows I can use to stretch it out.
You know, I already started the music. Close it out, right?
What do I do? What should I talk about? I'll just spend the music trying to think of something.
I've already stopped the music.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no fun then.
You're right. Still fun. All right.
Like I haven't seen anything really good. I've watched a couple Netflix things, but they're like, oh, it's okay. Oh no,
not-
Dead to Me. If you want something good, Dead to Me on Netflix. Oh, and that one with Paul Rudd. Living with Yourself. What's cool? Dead to Me and Living with Yourself, half-hour episodes.
Oh, that's nice.
Fuck this streaming future, this Netflix future where like everything is an hour. That's so frustrating. All those goddamn Marvel shows on Netflix were an hour when they didn't have to be. Streaming lets you have like any time that you want. Episodes can be any length that you want, and everything's still an hour. It's stupid. So Dead to Me and Living with Yourself are like good comedy dramas, half-hour episodes. It's fantastic.
You done?
Oh, Watchmen. If you haven't seen Watchmen on HBO, that is the one genuinely great show.
Nick, are you done yet?
What else have I seen?
Oh, whoop. Oh my God, you've got. Oh, what's happening to Nick? Oh. And let's close this out. No.
This is oppression.
It is oppression. I have ultimate control. Get used to it. If you want to do the show, if you want to have the control, you're more than welcome to do it sometime.
Nah, I'm just too
Nick,
lazy. I can't.
Nick.
I'm too lazy to fight back against the evil government that is Edie.
Yeah, exactly. So on that note, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds episode 523. We recorded this on Wednesday, November 20th, 2019. I've been Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website and GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. Just a shout out to Ryan Stevenson in the chat room on Spreaker. Thank you so much for joining us once again.
AC Wraith wanted to know what the decision was next week.
Oh, you know what? Let's stop us because we actually do need to talk about this. What is the decision about next week?
I will be here. I can do this. Like, if you want to do a podcast, I'm all for it.
Sure. Well, no, we'll do a podcast.
Okay, cool.
Unless that's inconvenient for you, AC Wraith, because I don't want to have to do all the links. Yeah, we'll do a show and then proceed to game until our eyes bleeds.
Yeah.
Sound like a plan? All right.
Yeah.
So we will have a show next week. All right. Starting back up again.
Do you have to start from the beginning every time?
No.
Can't you just
not at
start
all.
in the middle?
I started
Okay,
the music in the middle. I'm starting the music in the middle. All right. So we just went over the Spreaker channel on Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker. And I'm starting the music now. Join us live in the Spreaker chat room for our audio show. We also do this live as a video show on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube at GameHounds Vids. That's GameHounds VIDS as in videos. And also you can find us on our Facebook page live video. That is the GameHounds on Facebook. In addition, we have a Facebook page that is lovingly curated by our very own piss boy, Steve M. Hawk Ortegon. All the news throughout the week, all the news that you would ever want to know about the video game industry, what's coming out with games on our Facebook page. That is the GameHounds. If we mentioned anything in the show you want to find out more information about, all of the links brilliantly over all platforms are always in the comment section, whether it be Spreaker, Facebook, or YouTube. Go ahead and check out those. That's also done by our very own link bitch, AC Wraith. Thank you so much for doing that. And I had one more thing that I needed to talk about. I can't remember. All right. So everyone, thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you next week. And if you're not around next week, don't forget to listen to us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker download, and all of that other stuff. And if you do listen to us as a downloaded podcast, please leave us feedback. It makes it super easy for other people to find us and for us to get more listeners. More listeners is good listeners. Thank you so much. The Patreon. If you would like to sponsor us on Patreon, go to patreon.com/GameHounds to subsidize our video feed. Thank you so much. Talk to you next week. Have a good one.
Wait.
No. We're done.
You need to give the Matrix shout out to what's his name?
Michael fucking Underwood.
Now we out. Force Michael to stay to the very end to get a shout out. That's like a Marvel after credits tease.
The audio is gonna be great. The last thing is me going, Michael fucking Underwood.
That's good. That's good.
All right, so we are still on YouTube and Facebook. So yeah, next week still show.
Yep.
We're all good. I can't think of anything that I need to talk to you about.
No.
I am going to finish.
I never did.
Probably today or tomorrow.
I never did dig through my closet to see if I have haunting ground. There's so many things stacked in there. It's like, oh God.
You gotta do that.
Maybe next week that I have off, I will come in here. I will clean up all this shit. Then I will not hate being in here as much, and then I'll be better willing to go digging through there.
That's a good way to spend your week off, is digging through closets.
Yeah. It's a whole ordeal.
Yep. All right, and yeah, there's the link for our Patreon account. Please, if you are watching us on, let me go back up to this. If you are watching us on our video feed, please throw us a bone. And by bone, we mean $1 a month. That's all we ask in order to subsidize the cost of this video feed. Because I don't know that we can do the video feed more than another month, simply because it's not horribly expensive. It's only $24 a month, but we do need 24 people to pop us. I mean, we're actually within $10. So 10 people is all we need right now to do $1 a month to sponsor us on Spreaker, to sponsor us on Patreon so that we can do this video feed. Because as of pretty much, I believe it's going to be like Thanksgiving-ish, right about that time, this subscription will end for the month. And I cannot afford this. We cannot afford this. So please, $1 a month, and like this week, because if we don't have that, we can't spend money on the video feed. So Patreon, there it is right there. See it down there? Right there. Patreon.com/GameHounds. We just need 10 people to give us $1 a month. Thank you. I don't want to end doing this video feed because I really like this video feed.
Yeah, this is cool.
It's really nice to be able to show videos, whether they be, old Twinkie commercials.
I'm very tempted.
Brady Bunch episodes.
I'm very tempted to rotate my monitor to my left just slightly so that you can see the cats sitting by the window.
Why not? Absolutely. Animals sell, especially kitty cats.
Well, the only problem is like that this is not a comfortable angle for me to like sit in because I have to scoot over a little bit.
No. Just stay to the left.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Is that Shepherd or is that Jupiter?
That's Jupiter. He's got the diaper on behind. Does he? Yes, he does. See? Diaper cat.
Yep. All right. How you doing, Jupiter?
Oh,
Jupiter.
He's doing fine.
Yeah. He's looking pretty good for a cat that's on Fospus.
Yeah, for a cat that's in heart failure, he's doing very well.
See, I told you. Everybody's responding to the cat.
Jeez. Okay, fine.
Everybody wants cats.
I'll keep it there. Next show. That's my tease.
Yeah, that's what you need. Next show, you need to feed
next
the
show,
cat right
the camera's
there.
gonna be here the whole time.
That's
I
right.
can't guarantee they'll come up, but maybe if they do.
Yeah.
I'll open the window to tempt them in.
No, you just put some kitty treats up there, or put some food up there. And
Oh Jesus! If I get a treat, they're gonna go nuts.
Do it.
Then I have to get up and go over there.
Go do that. Make the cats go nuts.
Jesus.
Do they really go nuts when you bring out the treats?
Yeah.
Oh man, we are totally pandering to the lowest common denominator on this show right now. Literally, we have resorted to cat videos
Come
to
here.
get you to donate $1 a month for this. That's what we've done. There you go.
Come
Put
on.
it up. He knows. He knows it's there. He
Yeah.
sees it. He sees it. Just drop it.
I'm
so
trying
you
to
can
get
see
I'm
it.
trying to get Shepard
There
over
we go.
too. Shepard. No. The fuck is he? Oh, he's over there. Okay, fine. You're too lazy to jump up. Just eat it.
He says, Barbara says catnip them up there. That would be great. Just stick catnip
Oh.
up and watch them go. Just have you brought in catnip?
Do
in
I
the
have
house?
catnip? Do I have catnip?
I wish I understood what catnip does to cats' brains.
Is this catnip? This looks like a fucking controlled substance.
It sort of is for cats.
Oh. Okay. There you go.
There he is. There's Shepard. There we go.
Yep.
That did it. So we've literally just catnipping the cats for attention.
Oh, yeah. Next week I'll just spend the whole episode drugging them.
just whack out the cats.
Yeah.
AC Raid says need sloths and otters now, maybe some
Oh,
baby
shit.
bats. Oh yeah. We'll just do an animal show where we just randomly talk about games.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Mostly it's the animal show. Oh, there we go. Deep in the
Oh.
catnip. There it is.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think if we had. I think I have like a squishable sloth. I don't think so. No, we don't. We only have like dogs.
Yeah.
It's like a bird.
We got nothing.
I'm trying to think about like different animal plushies.
Have you ever seen my dog?
Have I?
Well, the one I have remaining.
I don't think so. No,
Buddy.
you stay out of that.
Come here.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost the original GameHound. Zoe was the original GameHound. She
Yes,
passed
I remember that.
away
That was too bad.
a couple months. Yeah, it did. I don't know if you can see back there on my mantle. There actually is a little box. So she's still here, sort of.
Aw.
Buddy, come here. This is the other dog. This was the foundling. Come here, you. Come here. Come over here. Come here. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he just got groomed. Oh.
Aw.
That is my dog. That is Buddy, the wonder dog. Buddy is very stupid. Ooh. Just
Is
got a
he?
cramp. Oh, this is the dumbest dog. This is
Really?
I mean, I think he's touched in the head that this
Oh,
is
wow.
the world's stupidest dog. If there was autism in animals, I would say he's a little autistic. This dog requires oh, shoot, getting cramps in my legs. This dog requires that everything be on a routine. If you like right now, he's not okay because I've just broken the routine of the morning.
Of picking him up.
Picking him up and putting him in front of the computer. Like you can see, he's just frozen.
Mhm.
When he has a routine, he is fine. When you break that routine, he shuts down. So he has now officially shut down. Yes, he has. You can see, like, he's just like, and it's not because I picked him up. It's because this is different than what his normal morning is. He's just frozen.
That's weird.
See?
He's just a special dog.
He is touched in the head.
Okay.
He ain't right. The dog ain't right.
Is he the banjo player in Deliverance?
He is. He's definitely he ain't right. Something ain't right with that dog. No, this dog is definitely like not an okay animal. I mean, the thing is he is wonderful because he is so funny. Because you essentially you get him on a nice routine and then you fuck with his routine and he's hilarious.
Oh.
He's such a good guy. He is. But this is. It looks. AC or Creation Chaos says he looks cute, but he's a bit vacant. Yeah, he is a bit vacant. Because he is. I mean, he's super happy to see people when they're outside. Like, he will fetch a ball inside the house. Once you take that ball outside the house, he doesn't recognize the
He's
ball.
like, nope, I don't want to be out there.
Well, he likes being outside. He loves going for a walk. You want to go for a walk? He loves going outside. But he is not. Once you take a ball outside, he does not recognize that it is a ball. He will chase a ball of the house all over the place as long as it's inside the house. Right, bud? You can see in his eye, he's like, something bad's going to happen to me. Something bad. I don't like it. Nope.
He's waiting for something to happen.
10 minutes to Wapner. That's what is in his head right now. He's got to go to Walmart, pick up underwear. That is what he is thinking. But this is my dog. And I will never own a smart dog ever again. Sorry, bud. Didn't mean to drop you there. Yeah, I'll never own a smart dog. Dumb dogs are so much more fun. Bitter says he's a
So
bit
much
like
nicer.
me then.
Oh,
Get the mouse, Murray. Thud. So yeah, all right. So that's our share our dogs moment. And
Yep.
And all right. So that was the bonus content for the weekend. Or for the show, for the YouTube people. All right. So, Nick, talk to you next week. Have a good week and enjoying getting ready for Thanksgiving and going through all of your closets and stuff looking for shit. Bless you. Bless you. Two? Just
thank
two?
you. I know. What the fuck? I think I'm coming down with something.
Yeah, because you're not sneezing enough.
I know. Yeah. Something's wrong with me.
All right. So we'll see you next week. Everybody in the chat room, thank you so much. Bitters. Hey, Chaos, thank you for joining us for once. You kind of, sort of my friend, and you never come to my shows. Barbara, Bitters, AC Wraith, of course, thank you so much. And everybody else that's listening that has not chimed in on the chat or watching us after the fact on YouTube or on Facebook. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. Bye, everyone.